Hi, this is Alexander Marquez with another powerful video that's going to help you create a prosperous and wealthy life. And on today's video, I want to talk about how rich people view time and in comparison to how poor and less successful people financially view time and money. So, you see but before I get started in that subject, I want to talk about how we live our lives. How we have two options when it comes to how we choose to live our lives. The first option is we can just decide to live randomly, right? So we can just live our lives like a philosopher that I listened to once said in one of his speeches, we can live our lives as though we feel we're eternal. So we wake up every day with no sense of urgency and just go through the motions of our days, and almost as if we were immortal, we can live that way with no sense of timeline, of a deadline to accomplish something, or we can live our lives with intention, with purpose. It depends on what kind of life you want to create. I'm not here to tell you how you should choose to live your life, but I'm here to tell you that you can choose randomness, but if you want to achieve something specific with your life, randomness is not going to take you there. Randomness is going to take you to random results. You're going to leave it to chance, you're going to leave it to luck, and that's not the way you design a specific lifestyle. So, if you want to be successful in a financial sense, if you want to create wealth, not just in a financial sense, but in other areas of your life, then you have to live with intention, you have to live with purpose, you need to have a vision. So, living with intention is absolutely critical if you want to achieve the life you want. And this takes me to my initial point that I was mentioning about money, about how the rich people view money and how they view time, and how poor people view money and how they view time. Poor people been conditioned by society, have been conditioned by society to accept the paradigm, to accept the narrative that what they should be doing is just focusing on having a job as a form of creating income. So the financial plan that has been taught to them is have a job, a long-term job, maybe save money, and hope that the company that you work with is going to set up some form of retirement plan that is going to allow you to enjoy a comfortable retirement. But my question then becomes, is this narrative, is it working? Is it practical? Well, when we examine the facts, the current stats and facts of for example, the country where I live in the United States, we see that this narrative is clearly not working. So we can always talk about exceptions to the rule. We can mention professions like a doctor, like a lawyer, engineer. These kinds of professions, you can say, well, people they go to school, they go to university, they get these degrees, and they do awesome, and so it works. And I'm here to counter with saying the stats prove that they are the exception to the rule. And so I don't know how you think, but the way I think is I want to increase my odds of getting what I want. And if I have to depend on exceptions to the rule, in my opinion, it's simply not good enough. And so what the wealthy understand is the power of creating multiple streams of income. The way poor people think is their idea of multiple streams of income is get a job, and if they want to create a second source of income, they immediately, the only thing that they can think about is get a second part-time job. So they're always just stuck in this paradigm of just job, job, job. Well, the rich people, they understand that multiple streams of income means creating businesses, either buying them or creating them, hiring people to run those businesses through the use of a systematic approach, using a system, a duplicatable system. So once they have a business set up and they have people working there and producing income for them, they're able to quickly duplicate it and open different, similar, either the same kind of business in different locations or similar types of businesses using the same approach. So they do this, they invest in real estate because they're going to have people that are renters that are going to be living in that are going to be living at these places, and they're going to be collecting rent from these people. So they're in the process, they're creating passive income that comes to them without much effort from their part. They understand the power of investing in the global economy, so they invest in stocks. It could be the money market and all types of investments. They understand the power of investment as a form of creating additional sources of income. So that is the big difference. That is the big difference between the wealthy and the poor, is the way they view money and the way the rich people understand the importance of creating multiple streams of income. So that's that. Now when it comes to how they view time, someone that's poor and that's very limited in their mindset, the only thing they can think about is the 24 hours that they have in a particular day. Every single day they have 24 hours, and that is all that they seem to understand. So this is a very limited mindset that I say, when you are stuck in this kind of mindset, you are simply doomed. You are simply doomed because you're never going to have enough hours to create the success you want. So now on the other hand, rich people understand the power of time because they understand the power of building teams that work for them and the power of duplication. So where someone that's not successful financially, they only view their 24 hours. Successful people and rich people understand the power of leveraging other people's times. So just to give you an example, if I have 1,000 employees working for me, and these employees work 8 hours in a workday, I don't have my 8 hours to create wealth. That's not all I have, just 8 hours. For these people that are not entrepreneurs, they don't have the mindset of the wealthy, they work their 8 hours and that's all they believe they can do. Me as an entrepreneur, I look at the 1,000 employees and I realize that I actually don't have just 8 hours. I have 8,000 hours plus my 8. I have the 8,000 hours that I have created through the power of building a team plus my 8 hours. So I literally created thousands of income producing hours. And that is the difference between how the wealthy and successful think from the way the broke and poor people think. And when I use these terms, poor and broke, I don't mean it as an insulting term. I mean it because that's reality. People are broke and poor, and the only way you're going to get out of that situation is if you change your mindset. And this is why rich people get rich, because this did not happen it goes back to the beginning of this video. It happened because they live with intention. And because they live with intention, they believe in personal development. So they grow their minds, they build their skills, they continue to learn, and because they continue to learn, they get exposed to new concepts. Because all you need is an idea, and they ideas lead to wealth. So because they continuously come up with new ideas and implement these ideas, their income continues to grow, while the people that are poor and broke, they don't work on themselves, so they never learn new ideas. So if you don't know what you don't know, how can you apply what you don't know you don't know? You are going to be stuck in a paradigm of failure and frustration, and this is going to lead to bitterness in life, which is very destructive. So at the end of the day, it's about growing your mind, about self-improvement, about understanding these concepts, applying them in a systematic way, step by step, understanding that it's a process, and eventually you will get to where you want to go. This is Alexander Marquez. I invite you to visit my blog at alexandermarquez.net and click on the links that are below this video. If you're watching on YouTube, the first link takes you to my blog. The second link takes you to my free ebooks and newsletter, which are going to help you design the life you want. And subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on my next video. Take care.